Our world is changing, and it's not in a good way. If humans don't do something about it soon, we might not get another chance to.
The Amazon rainforest is being consumed.
120 people have died and hundreds more are still missing after the worst flooding in parts of Western
UN
Europe.
report sounds the alarm about the planet's failing health. It'll be released in Monaco.
Let's be honest. Climate change is a real thing, and it is having a profound impact on communities all over the world. In this documentary, we will explore how climate change is impacting communities from the Midwest of the United States to the forests of Brazil. Hopefully, by the end of it, you'll learn just a little bit more about the impact climate change is having on the global community.
Most people see Indiana as some place you drive through on your way to big cities like Chicago. You won't see much more than flat fields of corn and soybean along the road. In fact, agriculture contributes over $30 billion to Indiana's economy, supporting 188,000 jobs. But the effects of climate change are being felt by farmers across the state, where rising temperatures, droughts, and flooding are all impacting crop yields. By 2050, Purdue researchers estimate temperatures could rise 6 degrees and corn yields could decrease 20%. Heat stress can cause massive damage for crops. Dry soil damages roots, requiring huge amounts of water that is difficult and costly to obtain. In fact, a 2012 Midwestern drought led to catastrophic damage to the entire United States gross domestic product. Alongside these droughts come periods of intense flooding. Warmer weather leads to evaporation and, consequently, more rainfall. Flooding majorly disrupts crops by cutting off oxygen to plants, making it much harder for them to grow, as well as increasing the risk of fungal infection. In response to these lower yields, farmers have been forced to buy different crop varieties, adjust fertilizers, and employ water recycling systems. But these minor changes won't be enough, as climate change continues to worsen. The problem needs to be addressed at its source, which will, ironically, entail major reform of the farming industry itself. Pesticide use must decrease, emissions must be cut, and crops must be diversified. I hope people will think of climate change not as a moral or political issue, but as a threat to our economy, our ecosystem, and our food security.
The most biodiverse country in the world, Brazil, also has its ecosystem threatened by climate emergency. São Paulo, the worst drought in 91 years happens, putting in risk small producers, who are already threatened by social factors. 4 years ago, we planted everything without using irrigation, only with rainwater, are the words of a farmer. La Niña and El Niño, natural changes that occur on Earth due to relation between the oceans and the atmosphere, change the climate particularly all over the world and are being affected by climate emergency. La Niña and El Niño are not directly related to climate change, which in turn are changes in global climate caused directly or indirectly by human action, which implies the expansion of El Niño and La Niña. They were more cyclical, and today we have streams, in addition to a very long time without them. The intensification of this phenomenon, which already impacts countries like Brazil, US, and tropical ecosystems, can cause problems in the agriculture and people's health.
The Northeast is characterized by 4 distinct seasons and a diverse landscape. The Northeast is both the most heavily forested and most densely populated region in the country. Climate change has already begun affecting the physical and biological environments of the Northeast region. As a consequence of increasing temperatures, sea levels will rise by at least 1 meter on the East Coast this century, with even greater coastal impacts from storm surges in areas that have seen major population increases. These physical changes may lead to large numbers of evacuated and displaced populations, as well as a lot of damaged infrastructure. Climate change will also have a profound effect on aquatic and terrestrial ecosystems across the region, changing forest types and aquatic environments, affecting fish community structure and the timing of migratory wildlife. Changes in the temperatures shrink habitat ranges for many species and increase the risk of wildfires. In addition, altered precipitation and snowfall levels will alter food availability and increase the prevalence of insects such as mosquitoes and ticks. So as you can see, the world is definitely changing. Climate change is here.
Join the global
Call.